Popol were a krautrock musical collective from Germany, centred around Florian Frick, who was their driving force and keyboardist, and they existed from 1969 to 2001. So they started out as an early electronic group collective, and turned into world folk after their first couple of albums, and they turned out 20 albums in total. Hi, my name's Dan. So this was the second album by Popol and it was the last one of theirs that has been generally thought of as being an electronic album, and it's by no means entirely electronic. Now, I have heard this before. I have a copy of it, but I wouldn't say I was familiar with it. It came at a time when I collected quite a bit of krautrock and listened to quite a bit, but it also became quite a bit of a continuum in my head, and I wouldn't necessarily be able to tell you who had done which bit by listening to it. So I would describe this as being kind of ambient, soundscapey stuff, but we're going to need to dig a little bit deeper than that. So there are two long tracks. They're both instrumental. There's no voice singing or even speaking in this. They're approaching 20 minutes each. The first track has got a backing that's Moog, and over the top of that there's some African percussion. The Moog does single long notes generally, and that's a big, broad sound and gives you the soundscape feel, and the drumming is much more kind of frantic and kind of suspended over the top of the Moog notes. Actually, sometimes the drumming reminded me of some stuff on the Pink Floyd album Ummagumma, which was a couple of years before this. So I know that there is... I'm well aware of Pink Floyd from many years ago. When I first started listening to krautrock, I thought, so that's where Pink Floyd got it from. Quite a few of the things they did. But actually, I don't think it's quite that straightforward. I think that they influenced each other. And so in this particular occasion, Ummagumma predates this. Let's move on. The second track is predominantly pipe organ, and it's huge organ sound that's being used. And again, there's percussion that's basically suspended over the top of this. And there's more cymbals here rather than just skin percussion. Overall, I would describe this as, the words that kind of come to mind are things like drone, but also ambient, world, obviously, because of the use of world instruments, ethnic instruments. New Age is a term that has been used, and I kind of see that. Space rock, but it's not really got the kind of groove that space rock often has. But definitely the word soundscape comes to mind here. And I would say basically it's krautrock. So I have a soft spot for this sort of stuff. It's unusual, but in ways that I understand, because I've been kind of well versed in the particularly the Pink Floyd end of this stuff. It's quite good background music, I would say, for somebody who finds it acceptable. Not everybody would find it acceptable. It doesn't have tunes, for example. It's I don't think I'm going too far out of line when I say it's probably music that might have appealed to people who were taking substances of various kinds. I wouldn't particularly be interested in listening to this sort of music in a concert, because in that kind of sense, it's maybe a little on the dull side. But generally, I reasonably like this album. And at this point, as always, I want to invite you to tell me what you think of this album. So please do so through the comments box, and that's it from me for now.